Jay. Danita.
Here.
Linda.
Present.
Tyrod.
Here.
Layla.
Here.
Noel.
Here.
Hannah.
Here.
Reese.
Present.
Giovanni. Jyoti. Susan. Jason.
Key. Never see this. Yeah.
Cheryl.
Here.
Virgil.
Here.
John. Charlotte.
Yeah, John, is stuck in Annapolis.
Oh, right, okay. Sharita. Shazia. Here. Ian. Bishop.
Bishop is online.
Yeah, here.
Okay. Caitlin is absent, right?
Yes, she wrote.
Corey. Patrice.
Somebody.
Bella. Bonnie.
Yep.
Katrina. Jeffrey. Sharonda. Mark Weaver. Todd. Who's that?
That was Bishop.
Ian's on there.
Ian, I just let Ian and listen.
Margaret Forte is on now, and so is Lisa and Jen.
Okay,
Okay,
we got it.
no, nobody told me.
Lisa and Jen here.
Okay, great, thank you. And who else? Margaret.
And Margaret Forte.
Margaret, great. Anybody else?
Yeah, Jennifer is on there. Let me just go through them once you finish.
Okay, okay. Where was I?
Just go down the street.
Yeah, Jack,
He's not here.
Ed Kaiser, Sheldon.
No.
Okay,
Ready?
yeah.
Alyssa Paradise is a guest.
Right.
Patrick here.
Reg is here.
Reg.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to go through the roll call. So if you guys tell her and I'm telling her, she's gonna hear a lot of different names. So hold on one second. Cheryl, you got her.
Yeah.
Danielle is a guest. Ed, which Ed is this? Is this Ed Kreiser?
Yeah, because he
You
already.
got him? Okay. Hannah Sword, did you have her?
Yep,
Okay. Ian,
yep,
Jennifer,
yes,
Lisa and Jen, Margaret,
yes,
Reg,
yes.
and Sandra Sarkolis.
Ooh.
Sandra,
Oh, Sandra, yeah.
those are all the people that are on the.
Okay, good, I got them all.
Do we have any guests in the room besides our special guests? Are there others? Yes, please announce yourselves. Carol Walden. And George.
Got her.
Austin Brown. Maureen Malloy. Oh, Wamboe. I'm sorry.
WAMBUI.
Who else? Is there anyone else back there?
Jason. Sure.
Got him.
No, but Jason is a member.
Yeah.
Anyone else? That'll be all. So, we do have special guests. The executive director for the Board of Elections is here, Miss Rui Lavoie. And, I'm going to ask her to introduce her team.
Thank you. This is Natisha Dancy. She is my executive assistant. Next to her is Kaija Gilchrist. She is one of the staff members that helps to hire and onboard the election judges in the payroll system and helps with election judge training. And then Latasha is our customer service expert. She is wonderful customer service. That's Latasha Daly.
Okay.
Daly, yes, ma'am. Welcome.
DALEY, DAI,
AILY.
LY.
EY, I'm sorry.
Got it. Spelled that one right.
Okay.
Not sure about the others. No, the second,
Letitia Nancy.
Nancy?
Nancy, DANCY.
Okay, great, thank you.
And Lakeisha just walked in.
Oh, Lakeisha, okay, great.
Do we have anybody new sign on to, no, doesn't
I
look
sent
like
the
it.
link out to a couple of.
Okay,
folks.
so do we have quorum?
I think so. Yes.
Great, thank you. With that being said, just to let you know in the way of when our next meetings are going to be, if you want to jot these down for those individuals who like to attend our meetings. Our general meeting with our next general meet, oh, it's March on here, and it really should be April. So it should be April the 15th is our next general meeting. And our next executive board meeting is April the 7th. I would like to know if we can accept the agenda with the change of adding the swearing in of District 42B nominating process.
Just to clarify, you say our next meeting is the 14th of April?
The 15th. I mean, the 14th of April should be the 14th. It's the 15th. The 15th is the third.
Fifteenth is a Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the
It's
21st.
the 21st.
Yeah, it's the 21st.
Okay.
It's the 21st. Yeah, I am too. How about that? That makes two of us.
The
Yeah,
14th?
because there are a lot of people who are guests today, are some of the people who are visiting today candidates that aren't part of the central committee that we need to know about?
We will move into that part
Okay.
and do some introductions a little bit later as it relates to some candidacy. We actually are going to talk about an activity that we have that we want to make sure we have those individuals participate in. So if that could be addressed at a later point in time. Additionally, what I'd like to also share with everyone, now let me get these dates and times correct. Tuesday, April the 7th is our executive committee meeting for the executive officers. And Tuesday, April the 21st is our general board meeting, okay? So can we, with those adjustments, can we get approval of the agenda?
That we accept the agenda as.
Okay,
I'll second.
it's been properly moved in second. All in favor? Okay.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Let me just say, for the sake of saying this, are there any objections? I hear none, so the ayes have it. All right, we're moving forward. Did all of you that are members have an opportunity to, that is really strange. How do we do that? So all of you who have an opportunity,
Your background on Zoom is your.
Let's see this.
I don't know how to fix it.
You did.
That camera, you did.
So did you have a moment to read the minutes? And if you did, would you, can I get a offer to approve the minutes?
This is Lisa and Jen, so moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any objections? Hearing none, minutes are approved. A quick chair's report. Last month, we had a similar activity that we're gonna have today, which is the voter registration training. And it was extremely successful. And there were, I believe, by head count, approximately 18 individuals who were actually trained and given their voter registration distribution cards. So if you trained last meeting and you received your voter registration distribution card, can you raise your hand? Because you deserve a round of applause. And then there were individuals who were online who also heard, who thought they were in the process of training. Can all of you raise your hands if you heard it online? Okay, so there's a few. Are there any here this evening who will be receiving voter registration training who were not at our meeting last month and want to be trained to be a voter okay, so that gives us, that's our signal. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And thank you all for coming. This is great. I'm going to now move more quickly. Our consent agenda, which we've been working with, are the reports from our subcommittees. And I'm going to, and I actually should have did this a little bit earlier. I'm going to ask that the Party Building Committee give a verbal report. Because we are moving into an activity that everybody needs to hear about, and they need to see what the participation level is as it relates to those activities. Other than that, are we good with the consent agenda? Any issues, problems, or concerns? Okay, then we will move forward with that. Shannon?
The treasurer's report? Sure. So let me present the treasurer's report for the month of February. We began the month of February with $18.84 in the administrative account. We had a single donation of $1.46, which I put in to put us to precisely $20.30, which is the exact amount of the transactions that came out of the administrative account in February. $10 for PNC for our monthly service charge, $10.30 for Zoom. With that being brought down to $0, then on the 21st of February, I went and closed the administrative account. So we now just have the legislative account, which is the only account we spent money from in any real way since I've been on the central committee. It just makes it a lot easier for us to deal with and, makes everything simpler. So we ended, of course, the month of February with $0 in the administrative account. We began the month of February with $22,534.23 in the legislative account. We did not have any income in the month of February, and our expenses in the month of February were $7.42 for Google Workspace, $5 for our PNC monthly banking fee, $139 for Morningstar self-storage. That has gone up because of the 1-year cycling of the contract. I reached out to contact them to see if they would try to cut us a deal and got shot down. I did myself just look around a little bit, and finding something comparable it'd be difficult to find anything that was much cheaper, and the hassle of having to move the entire storage unit seems like it's not worth it. If somebody finds something that is promising, you could bring it to the committee, but for now, I think the 139 is still saving us a lot of money in comparison. I'm sorry, the NGP van fees were $82.49 for the month of February. $37.10 for Constant Contact, and then we did have a $200 check that was cashed by Woodbrook Baptist for our use of the church here. So our total expenses for the month of February were $471, which means we ended the month of February with $22,063.22 in our bank account. Does anyone have any questions about our expenses or about the treasurer's report for the month of February?
Can we have a motion to accept our treasurer's report?
I'll move.
Who is that?
I'll second.
Jennifer.
Okay, so Jennifer, motion and.
Lisa and Jen seconding.
Okay, thank you so much. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We will adopt our treasurer's report and put it in for, make it available for audit. Okay. We do have special guests here. I'm gonna carve out this time right now to allow them to be able to make their presentation. And then once they make their presentation, we'll be able to move forward with activities that are old business and any new business we might have. And that way you won't be held here captive for the entire meeting. But if you'd like to say, we always welcome each and every single person to be available to participate in our meetings. So, Ms. Lavoy, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So
Ms. Lavoy, as I introduced to you all earlier, there's a podium here if you want to go over here, Ms. Lavoy, or we can move the podium to you. I got some really strong members.
that's fine. I just, if they're gonna see can they see the PowerPoint online? Or-
Yeah, we'll have the PowerPoint shared online.
And then will they be able to see it in the audience or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
See, it'll be up on the screen here.
I mean, I could be right next to the TV if you want. I'm okay right here.
Okay, does somebody want a little podium over there?
This is-
Over here.
Podium move.
But I just moved out of
You want to be able to see?
Yeah, and
And
then.
then you all still see. And then,
One.
very much.
Oh, you
Purples are
did. Thank you.
designated podium.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
He goes.
I use the power.
Just one.
What to talk about.
That is perfectly, that is not a problem. Okay, so Shannon, do we have the PowerPoint up?
Yeah, I just need to share my screen.
Okay.
So, Dr. Wood, did you want me to give the election briefing too?
While I'm setting that up, I think the briefing would be very appropriate for you to start out with, and then we'll close out with the actual training.
Sure. Okay.
So there are some changes as it relates to elections and the process for elections and the procedures for some of the electoral activities. So I'm gonna let Ms. LaVoy bring you up to speed on many of those activities. Some of you may want to take some notes. If you're going out to your community associations, you might want to share some of this information. If you're going to your clubs, you might want to share some of this information. And I'm also going to ask Ms. LaVoy if she'll provide me with a cheat sheet or some type of documentation that has this additional information on it that I can actually send to you all, that you can have it available to refer to if you need to share it with others. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Wood.
And just let me know when you need me to change a slide and I'll click it.
Perfect. All right, and thank you all for having me. So, I'm Rui, I'm the election director. I actually know a lot of you all. Some of you filed in our office recently, so congratulations on that. So basically, I'm just gonna give you an overview of what we've done so far. Believe it or not, we've been super busy through 25, even though it's all election year. We have, our board meetings are held monthly, normally on the fourth Thursday, but some months we have to change it around depending on what's going on. For example, this month it's tomorrow, and in April it's the fifth Wednesday. We also live stream our meetings, similar to what you all do. And then now Maryland law requires us to record it. We in Baltimore County, we continued live streaming after 2020, even though it just became the law. Doing it all along since COVID. But we just started recording all of those recordings, and the live stream is available on our election agency website, along with like my director's report, minutes, things like that. As most of you know, we completed the redistricting process that increased our county council from 7 to 9. And in doing that, we also had to redistrict the board of ed districts because they did not increase to 9. And historically in Baltimore County, the county council or the board of ed districts mirrored the county council districts. So the board of ed remained at 7, county council increased to 9, which means Baltimore County now has 5 lines that make your precincts. So you have the election line that never moves, and then you have congressional, legislative, councilmatic, and now board of ed. Because now your board of ed council rather than just sending voter cards to voters who their polling place changed or their council district changed, I opted to send them to everybody. So everybody now knows exactly what council district, what Board of Ed district, and what their polling place is. As much as possible, we tried not to move voters out of polling places, but as you can imagine, with 5 lines, there's a lot of cuts and splits. And there's some instances where the polling place might not be within the 5 lines, the building, but it's close in the community where everybody's used to voting. So I opted to leave the voters in that location where they were used to try to minimize as much voter confusion as possible. We've also increased our voter education and outreach to that regard, trying to explain to people that their council district may not match their Board of Ed district, because your ballot's gonna look a little different too. The other thing that happened is in that redistricting, the number of precincts increased from 243 to 258. So I tried again as much as possible to keep those 15 additional precincts within the community, easy for people to access and vote. So all of the voters, almost 600,000 voters in Baltimore County, received a new voter card recently in the last couple of weeks. If you haven't, let me know, make sure you do get it. And then we also, the Board of Elections is charged with designating and establishing early voting centers. Although we are able to have up to 11, we don't have the resources this election to have 11 because my poll books are from 2006 and our voting scanners are from 2016. I don't have the equipment to open that 12th early voting site, but it is in the budget for the next election cycle because we're getting all new poll books and new voting equipment. So those 11 early voting sites have been established and they are the same 11 that we used in 2024, again, to try to eliminate voter confusion. We have 38 ballot boxes, which are 2 more ballot boxes than we had in 2020. Thank you. We have 2 more ballot box locations because I determined that it's the 2 new locations made a lot of sense. One is at CCBC Hunt Valley off of York Road, which is very convenient to a lot of things. It used to be at Oregon Ridge and they closed the gate at 6 o'clock at night. So that doesn't do a lot of good to have a drop box on the other side of the closed gate. So that's why I moved it right there to York Road. It's easy in and out to that CCBC Hunt Valley. I think there's like by White Avenue, the post office is there and the World Farms. And then another location, we're putting one in Towson. Right now, there's locations a little outside of the middle part of Towson. That will be a box in the, in Towson. Yeah.
Since you're going to Wood Valley CCDC over there is what it will be then. Are you keeping the one at where the Board of Elections used to be in Wood Valley?
Yes, because that was my busiest box. My plan, honestly, in 22, when we moved to Elvis Mills in 23, my plan was to keep the box in the Hunt Valley at the old election office just for the election year, just because people were so used to that box. It was very busy. It was so busy, I told my staff, I can't move it. It's kind of like I kept the post office box in Hunt Valley too, because everybody was using it. So we don't have the post office box, but I'm keeping that box there. I already have a light there, I already have a camera, but it's already on the route. So yes, that one's staying at our old office. It's still 911 and the BOM electronics. It's the other county agencies are still in the building. So that box will be there, but you also have an additional one on York Road a little bit further up. We also have 24/7 video surveillance at all of our ballot boxes, and then which is required by state law, but in addition, Baltimore County provides hourly roving security on any time that the buildings are closed. So most buildings close between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., whether it's a school or a library or a community center. So we have security that goes to every box every hour, takes a picture and records the tamper tape, the locks, and then sends it to me and a security coordinator. So we're constantly checking that. And that happens from 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. when the buildings are closed. Once the ballots go out, which is 45 days before the election, we will start, the ballot boxes will be delivered that same week, and we'll start picking up that same day, even though there might not be a ballot in there, but somebody might put a voter registration application or a mail-in ballot application in a box. So we start patrolling and we start picking up the same day that they're delivered. As you know, candidate filing closed on the 24th. I think that this is the highest number of candidates Baltimore County's ever had. I don't know if anybody's seen our website, but it's very exciting. Every one of the Democratic Central Committee, you all had no vacancies. But I shared that with Dr. Woods. And the number of, I think that, I mean, there's a lot of enthusiasm, which is very exciting. But we're gonna have probably a 2-page primary ballot, which is unusual again for most counties, because there's no questions, but it's exciting with all the candidates. The ballot, I am developing and building the ballot now, and my certification date is in May. Once the ballot is certified on May 20th is April 20th is the certification date. It'll be displayed on April 21st. I already have the voter guide sample ballot that we mail out to everybody. But I already have all the information ready. I just need to finish building the ballots that go with that to start that mailing. So my plan is to mail the voter guide with the sample ballots right around the same time that everybody starts receiving their by mail ballots. If you've asked for a ballot by mail, which would be the same time that we're delivering the ballot boxes. All of the press releases from either my office or the state board, I make those available on our agency, Baltimore County's website, so that you all have an easy, quick way to get to any press releases, either from the state administrator or from me. The last day to register to vote or change your party is June 2nd. Now that's an important date, not so much for the registered vote and address change, but for the change of party part. So it's always 21 days before the election is the last day of voter registration. But as you know, a couple years ago, Maryland approved a law to have the same day registration during early voting. And then in 24, they also had same day registration on election day. And we have a qualified database, and it's a big process someone has to go through. But the thing is, you cannot change your party. So like if you're already registered to vote, you can't go to early voting and change your party and vote, or you can't do that on election day, but you can register to vote. Excuse me, during early voting, you can change your address, but on election day, you can't change your address. During early voting, you may know we have every ballot style, Baltimore County, for this coming primary. I think we're gonna have 930 different ballot styles. They're all available during early voting, but they're not available, obviously, on election day. That would be impossible to have every ballot style. So that's why you can't change your address. And if you do go to the wrong precinct, you can still vote, but you'll vote provisionally, and then that's processed. Yes, sir.
So just to confirm, you're saying that every early vote location has at least one of every ballot?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, just one thing. Don't we have one vacancy in District 10 for Central Committee for mail?
I think I sent it to you, but I mean, there's no district with nobody. That's to me.
That's what she meant.
That's what I meant, yeah. So, and I don't know if that's happened before. I just, so I might have misspoke, but that's what I meant. Like every single one of the.
Every district has a
Yes.
representative in it.
Exactly, that's.
It may not be every single seat, but every district has representation.
That's correct. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Just one other thing. Can you, before you end, even alternate these?
Just hold on one second.
Sorry.
We good, no? Okay, go ahead.
I said, the 23rd of this month, don't you also have to identify alternate early voting sites?
I've already done that. Baltimore County's already done that. We did that when I submitted the 11 in November, when the 11 were due for the election plan. I figured why not knock it all out, get it all done at one time? So we're ahead of the game. I've already submitted all of my security plans and I've already submitted my, my COOP and my disaster recovery.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And I didn't hear you mention, but you may be going to get there. Is there any new type of identification or different identification individuals have to present in order to confirm that they have the right to vote?
Not right now, no ma'am. Nothing has changed. Everything is as it was in 24, 22.
Okay,
Maryland does not require ID. We do require that you answer 3 identifying questions for during a primary when you also say your party affiliation.
mhm,
But there's few instances when we do require identification if the poll books indicate it, and there's a reason why the voters pending. There could be different reasons why, but that's very few times. But for the majority of the voters, will not show ID.
okay.
If that
And
changes, I will let you know.
please do, because
Yeah.
I feel like the only way it'll change is if they pass the federal SAFE Act. And they haven't done that yet. So that's probably not going to happen, I hope, and fingers crossed. Jason will be the last question. We're going to let her finish her presentation and then let her also proceed with training.
And I, just to double the last question, I'm assuming there's no differences with poll watchers as well, correct?
So what do you mean there's a difference with the poll watchers?
Like where they can stand and what they can do, like someone who would be aggressively challenging someone's ability to vote or eligibility to vote, like that kind of stuff.
So Maryland law allows for anyone can challenge anybody's right to vote, right? That doesn't mean that the person doesn't vote.
No, I'm sorry, it really changes with what changed from before, as in like, they don't expect to have more security or things along those lines,
So
or poll watching and whatever.
So let me figure out what I think of the week. So no, there are no changes. However, yes, I have come up with different strategies and thoughts and plans because my goal, as I'm sure, like everybody that works in my office, is that every eligible voter in Baltimore County gets to come vote, whether it's by mail, early voting, or on election day. So that's our goal, is to do whatever we need to do to make that happen. So, right now, no, there's no changes. People can still challenge, people can still poll watch. Yes, there are restrictions. Yes, we are making sure they understand the restrictions. Yes, I have, pre-meetings and meetings with law enforcement and, Baltimore County Emergency Management and a lot of other, people, stakeholders that I'm meeting with several times prior to the start of Canvas, really, that's what I was gonna talk about next, and then early voting and election day and then certification. So, yes, we've taken steps to make sure things are right, but no, it hasn't changed where people can do anything different than they've been permitted to do in the past.
And there's nothing that you reacted to as caused a change, like you said, for security or, those kind of things, correct?
No, not by law, I'm just doing my due diligence and being proactive. You're welcome. So, okay, I think where I was gonna talk about the sample ballot, right? The last day to register. Oh, if you want to see a public demonstration of the voting equipment, it's the same equipment. But if you'd like to come see it, that's gonna be on May 27th at 10 a.m. That's always available to the public. The Maryland law changed in 24 and they require us to start canvassing mail-in ballots because I don't know if you know this, but Baltimore County's absentee or mail-in ballots increased by 450% since 2020. We used to get 2,000 to 5,000. Now I get 200,000 or 150, 200,000. So Maryland now requires us to start counting those, counting the mail-in ballot 8 days prior to the start of early voting. So that day, the first day of the canvass would be June 1st. I don't expect to have a lot of ballots back by then because people just received them a couple weeks before that. But we will canvass what we've received on June 1st, and then we stop canvassing for during early voting, and then we start again 2 days after the election. Election day is June 23rd. 100% verification is June 24th. And then June 25th is when we start doing the absentee ballots, and then 1 week later, we canvass the provisional ballots. And then that Friday, which is 10 days after the election, is when I certify. And then we used to do a manual audit after every general election where we counted a percentage of the ballots from provisional mail-in ballot election day and early voting. That's no longer required, but we are required to do a risk limiting audit. That audit is done sooner than the manual audit used to be completed. It's done before the statewide certification, which is going to be July 7th. So pretty much we're going to be counting from July 4th through 10th this year. So, and then start all over again for the election. Are there any other questions?
No. I just have one question about the procedure in which when there was someone that wasn't actually on the ballot, like the Republicans in council, that they were able to get somebody on the ballot for council. I know that's probably something on the books, but could you explain exactly what happened? It was a little confusing.
Yes, so Maryland law allows the central committee, and Dr. Wood did contact me to see if there were any vacancies on the Democratic ballot, to see if it needed to happen with on the Democratic ballot, but there were no vacancies other than the one central committee, but that doesn't apply to that one. Right, so with the county executive and the county council race, if there are vacancies after the last day of candidacy filing, the central committee can vote and then make a nomination. And as long as they give me that certificate of nomination before March the 10th, they can file. So that's how those three, so we have three, thank you for bringing this up. That was a great question. We have 3 candidates that were nominated by a central committee, and then we have 4 petition candidates. And the petition candidates are candidates that are unaffiliated. They're not one of our 2 majority parties, so they're not going to appear on the primary ballot. And they are showing as active candidates for the general if they finish the petition process. So I've notified all of them. They know what they need to do to remain active and be on my general ballot, how many signatures they need, things like that. I've given them everything they need. So we'll see what happens with those 4 candidates. The deadline is in August for them to turn in the signatures.
Now, Reese had a question. I was trying to forego all the questions so that she could get the training done, but go ahead, Reese.
I think like ballot canvassing and particularly early vote and mail-in balloting, I know like every year, like each candidate campaign is different information on what numbers they're allowed to get from like the polling place, like, you know, like how many ballots were cast that place, or you can't like, I was wondering what kind of information you can feature.
So we train our election judges, and unfortunately, might be something that they either get busy and forget to do. But every hour they should put a voter count, ballot count, take to the wall near the entrance of the voting room, and that way watchers can't, electioneers, candidates, whoever can come and see that without coming in the room. You can call my office and I get numbers. I also post them for turnout, not obviously results. Early voting results are embargoed until I do the early voting canvass, which happens on election day. I notify Dr. Wood and all the chairs of central committees and all of the legislators that are currently of all of the dates and times. But for your general information, I also live stream my early voting canvass. You can't see the election results because it's 1 o'clock on election day. However, it's one of the first results I release as soon as all of the polls close after 8 o'clock. And then anything that I've canvassed prior to election day, I embargo those results until 8 o'clock or after all the polls close on election night, and I release those results. So you'll start seeing election night, if you see the unofficial results, you'll see early voting first, then you'll see MIB, and then you'll start seeing election day. Because it takes me a minute to get the results from the 258 precincts.
Rui, you said something that was, thank you so much for that response. You've had a lot of great questions. You said something to the group that was really casual, and I don't know if people caught it, but you said if people file unaffiliated, they don't get to vote in the primary. And I don't think people hear that or know that that's a part of maybe our audience.
So in Baltimore County, our Board of Ed contest is nonpartisan. So If there are 3 or more candidates for a Board of Ed district, they will be on your primary ballot. If there's only 2, they're gonna go straight to the general, because they're not partisan, so they're not competing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So most of the Board of Ed, if you look at but in 24, we had like 2, 4, and 7. In 22, it was like, I forget, 1, 2, and 3 or something. We've never had all 7 with 3 candidates each for Board of Ed. And I don't remember, and I'm sorry, but whether we have those. So the only thing that is on an unaffiliated ballot is Board of Ed. So they get the ballot and they're like, I'm still in contest, and then we have to explain it to them. And that's only in one of our 7 districts that had 3 or more candidates to even run in the primary. Because if it's only 2 candidates, you already made it to the general.
Okay, now, we do have one last question, and that person is on Zoom. Ian, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Wood. I'm just making sure, like I heard it correctly. So this year, the Board of Elections sent voter notification cards to every registered voter because they're separate Board of Education and council districts, but like any other year, you would only send them to new voters or existing voters that had been moved to a different precinct.
Okay, but it's like, thank you for the question. It's a 2-part answer though. Anytime somebody registers the voter, changes their voter record, their name, their party affiliation, they'll get a new voter card. Every time we do redistricting, usually when we do redistricting, we send it out to anybody that's changed a polling place, because the council districts, the numbers didn't change, so they might, or if their council district or congressional district changed. So we didn't send them out to everybody. In 22, we did send them out to everybody because there were so many changes after we redistrict. And then in 24, I sent them out to everybody again. But normally, voter cards don't go out every year to everybody. They only go out to anybody who made a change, or if somebody calls my office and requests one, I send you one.
Does that answer your question, Ian?
Yeah, so they did go out to everybody this cycle.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. That was
Okay.
my response to you, but yeah, I'm glad she clarified it for you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Wood.
You're welcome.
Because I'm just if it was moving from 7 to 9, outside of the change between Board of Education districts and Baltimore County Council districts, even though it expanded to 9, if people had kept their number, they would not have received a card if the Board of Education districts were aligned with the county council districts.
Well, I mean, if they were still, when they were aligned with the council districts, they weren't separated on your card. If you look at your new card and look at a previous card, you'll see there are 4 districts now, because our 5th is election district. I don't list that. So there's 15 election districts, by the way, if you wanted to know. Before, it used to be 4 districts listed. Now it's 5. So everybody got a new card because now everybody has that 5th district listed before there, but historically forever, it's been the same, 7 and 7. I don't know if
that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay.
He got it.
All right, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We're gonna go ahead and.
One of the reasons I sent the cards too, excuse me, was because it's so confusing, and I thought I was gonna send the cards out because I don't want people to be confused.
Absolutely.
No, that's like a great thing. Yeah, and it just seems like maybe that'd be a good thing to happen every single year.
Well, it's
Just a reminder.
Well, it's the fiscal note that makes it difficult, but this year it really makes sense for them to have done it.
And the voter guide and the voter guide also has that same information with your polling place and your ballot style. So, and that goes to everybody, every election, you know.
Okay, so I'm gonna, because we could probably, I'll tell you what. I'm going to ask the people that still have a question. I think I saw 2 hands. I think I saw Fergal and.
Just a comment. House Bill
But if.
fix it.
Huh?
House Bill 1160 is going to fix it.
Oh, all I'm gonna say is if you have a comment or a question or a statement or anything, let's get the training done. And then we'll leave a little bit of extra time for questions, okay? But let's let her finish the the piece that might take a little bit more time, and I don't want her to run out of time to do what she needs to do.
Okay, so what I'll do is, we're gonna hand out a packet to you.
I didn't try to push you into that, so I hopefully, no, did you finish your?
Don't anybody think I'm not trying to answer your question, so please know, you can email me or email Dr. Wood, and because she knows how to contact me, Shannon does, a lot of them do. Send me an email and I'll do my best to answer the question. I don't mind coming back before June, we got a couple months in between.
I am gonna,
Again.
I am gonna ask you to do something. If they identify themselves as a central committee member, when they ask you a question, and if you would do that, please. Or CC me when you write her. I like to get the information for the questions because oftentimes the question you have, somebody else might have.
Yeah.
So that way, if the information is sent at least CC'd to me or to me in the response, I can accumulate data to provide the rest of the committee with the responses that comes from the Board of Elections. Okay, so I thank you for doing that, and I'm sorry.
You're fine, no worries.
Go ahead.
So, and I'm gonna try to kind of do it this speed training too. So if I'm going too fast, tell me and I'll slow down. So just so you when,
Yeah, just say slide or.
whenever I flip a page, how about that?
I can do that.
All right, so what you're training to be is to be a voter registration distributor. It used to be, they used to call it a voter registration volunteer, but they changed it in 25. And what that person is responsible is still assist eligible citizens with registering to vote. You also have to have a responsibility to ensure the application is filled out legally so that we can process it. And if you're ever helping somebody to vote and they don't know their driver's license number or their last word, their social or whatever, still have them fill it out, but put their phone number, because we can always, or their email, we can contact them and get it another way. It's better for us to at least start the process. So the effective June 1st was the continue of 2001. I'm not sure why we have to train you all this, because these are old laws, but that's the continuous registration law, which means you stay registered in Maryland. Even if you move to the city or you move to Carroll County, then you move back to Baltimore County, you still stay registered in Maryland, but it's a statewide voter registration system. The qualifications to register to vote was updated in 2010, and then I don't know if you know this, but a couple of years ago now, you can register to vote when you're 16, but you're not eligible to vote until you're 18. So that changed recently, and then also the Ex-Felons Act changed in 2016. Excuse me, and that allows people that have finished serving their sentence and are no longer serving the sentence to register and vote. It used to be if you were finished serving your sentence and then you came home on parole, you still couldn't register to vote till you finished parole, but now you can. And it also allows people that are in maybe pre-trial, they're incarcerated, but they haven't gone to trial yet, so they haven't been found guilty and they're not actually serving their sentence. They can also register to vote and vote. And we do outreach to the jails and
Correctional system.
correction centers across Maryland. And some of the other, we already talked about continuous, so you can skip on through. I talked about all those. I told you I was trying to do about Ex-Felon. The Help America Vote Act was established in 2002, and it does a couple things. It helps funds elections, giving us money for like ADA signs and parking and ramps and things like that, which is awesome. It also has helped us over the years, like create better parking, better maybe circles in front of polling places, things like that. So the Help America Vote Act has been instrumental in the way that we are helping our citizens vote and providing convenient access. So everybody is able to vote privately and independently, which is our goal. All right, so now I'm on meeting the quiet. It's the next one. Perfect. All right. So to register to vote, the person has to have either a driver's license or a Maryland ID or a social security card. You have to be a US citizen. Because all new applications are verified through the Motor Vehicle Administration or the Social Security Administration. So that's what I say, if somebody doesn't know their ID and they don't have it with them or whether, would still have them sign and turn in the application, because we can get it other ways as long as we have their phone number or email and can contact them. But try to get both of those informations, because then they're verified and it goes through our system really fast, and usually within 2 or 3 weeks, they get their new voter card. If they don't provide that, then they go in pending status, but I also have a very strong pending staff person who will contact people and keep trying to get the information we need so that we can make them an active voter. Okay, so Maryland recognizes 2 basic types of applications for voters, either the statewide voter registration system or the statewide voter registration application, which is everybody has one in your packet, or the national voter registration application, or that's part of the federal form. You guys, when you help register people to vote, you're going to use the regular, we call it a VRA, voter registration application, and we brought some for everybody, so that you have those. And then we also brought flyers that have the QR code where someone can scan it on the code, because the young people, they love doing that. And then so they can register right on their phone by scanning that. So we brought a bunch of those flyers for you as well. And then we brought extra applications. And then, excuse me. So let's talk about the qualifications and duties for you all. So in order to be a VRD or a voter registration distributor, you have to, 1, go through this training, and then you also be of legal voting age, which is 18 or older. But oddly enough, you don't have to live in Maryland, which I'm not sure I understand that. So you have to live in Maryland to register, but you don't have to live in Maryland to help people register in Maryland. But anyway, that is, it is people that live outside of Maryland are not prohibited from registering people to vote.
As long as they have their card, right?
As long as it does, and they've gone with training. So your duties would be to assist them in filling it out correctly. It's so strange. Did you notice they all say page 4? Like everyone, it says page, so that's why I'm like, where am I? Anyway, I'm sorry. We also have the online voter registration that you can get through our election agency or through the state board, so they can do it online. Some people don't, I had my identity stolen before, and I don't know if you have, but it's not fun at all. So some people might be a little hesitant about filling out their name, address, birthday, driver's license, social. I mean, you got them hit the jackpot, you could buy a car. So they don't want to fill it out and give it to you, right? So what we do, that's why we have the flyers with QR code, and then we also have the link at the bottom where they can go online and do it online, because people might feel more comfortable doing that. If you do collect the applications, the paper copies, we always recommend that you put them in a sealed envelope, let the voter put it in. I don't know if any of you ever voted provisional, we had to put it in a large bag. Same difference, the first feels a little secure, and then don't leave that envelope in your car, and try to get it to our office or deliver to us as soon as possible. Did you have a question?
I did. I talked to someone else, and they said we should not be registering people on our computers because it does save information.
That I agree on your computer, that's why I said their phone. Yeah. Yeah, and you're right, people might not feel comfortable about that, but that's why
That's why we asked for QR codes.
Almost everybody age 2 and up has a phone now. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, would there be anything that would stop, like a party or just interest group from posting that poster with the QR code at every subway stop where people sometimes sit for 45 minutes waiting for a train, or on buses where some people are taking 2 hours to get to and from work? Is there anything that would prevent us from doing that so that people?
No, and I brought a bunch of flyers for you guys.
All right.
That's what this power, all this stuff will leave with you. And then, I gave Dr. Wood that fish one.
Yes, and we should give them a round of applause for making that bug.
So Mary Frances was like, really leave it, and then I told Cody said, Ruby, I just made that, I said, make another one.
Thank you, Rory.
Anyway, you all cannot be paid for this, and please remember, you also can't, you have to be nonpartisan when you're doing this. I know a lot of times, especially the younger generations, the younger people might, because I get asked all the time, well, what is a Democrat, what is a Republican? So there's ways that you can say it, you can explain the difference without appearing to push them one way or the other, right? You can give Ronald Reagan was a Republican, or Jimmy Carter was a Democrat. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can do it. My mom and dad told me to look it up and figure it out myself, but what I'm saying is just be very careful that you can't coerce someone. It's kind of like if you ever assist somebody filling out their ballot, you can't coerce them on who to vote for. It's kind of the same difference. When you're doing this, you're helping someone fulfill their right to vote, and you don't want to influence, either their vote or the party that they choose to be. And that's very important to remember. But that doesn't mean you can't help people register vote during your events. There's nothing that says you can't do that. It's not like when you come into inside a polling place and you have to turn your shirts inside out. It's not like that. You can still wear your shirts or have your tent or whatever, but you just have to remember you can't influence them when they're checking the box on what party they are. So what I wanted to do, and you can't get paid. They can't buy you a drink or pay. You can't get paid for doing this either. Now, you can give out like little stickers or buttons or, candy, stuff like that. 'Cause we do have stuff for you guys too, so man. I don't know if you want candy, but, anyway, so it has to be a nominal value. All right, so let's go through, if you look in your packets, everybody has one of these forms. So we'll go through real quick, and I'll tell you what is required to be filled out. And then we'll certify you guys, how's that? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna email Dr. Wood this whole, well, actually, she has it. So you guys, do me a favor, promise me you'll read the whole thing, because I try not to go word for word on it. So read the whole thing.
We'll send it out to the whole committee, and we're gonna do like a little survey thing. It's an attestation statement. I read the entire Board of Elections, and it's just a yes or no, and it's on your honor.
Yes.
It's on your honor, okay?
Change their affiliation, Board of Express. They have to do it in a whole nother days.
So they can either, this form is like a 5-part form. You can do that on this form, or you can do it online, or you can do it through the QR code. But you have to do it one of those ways, yes. So when you do it online, you have, yes, you do. And the reason is, believe it or not, we have over 5,000 employees in Baltimore County. We have the number of father and sons that have almost exactly the same birthday, that live in the same house with the same name, except for junior, senior, is incredible. So that's why we need we want to make sure we have the right person, name, but date of birth, things like that.
So when they go to do this online, a blank form comes up.
It's not, well, you have a couple choices. You could do it through the system, and you put in your Maryland driver's license number, and it connects you to your current information. And then you say whether you want to edit it or make changes or whatever, and then move through the screen. Or you can print out a paper copy and then mail it. So anyway, so we're gonna go through this real quick. Obviously, number 1 is required. That's the last name, first name. The date of birth, have to have it for the reasons I was just explaining. And then also middle name or middle initial. And I love my middle name. I use it on everything. If the person signs the whole middle name, I recommend them putting their whole middle name. The reason I say this is because when it's petition time, that it just makes a difference. So I'm just putting it out there that if the person doesn't use their, only puts their initial, that's fine. But if they, like me, I always sign my full name. then put the full name up there. The residential address it has to be in Maryland. You guys can register anybody from any county and you can turn them into me and I'll make sure they get to that local board.
Those order if you're homeless for.
So if everybody, if you're home, you put that. And then we have, we have ways that we could, they still, even if you're homeless, you still have to have like a mailing address. And a lot of, I don't want to say all, but a lot of, the homeless people we have or displaced people have a mailing address and, or they use like social services address or things like that. So there are exceptions to the residential and that's one.
We use the drug counselor.
You're welcome. And then they need to choose their party, and this is the part where you all don't wanna, I don't want to choose, right? We're gonna let them pick that number 3 on their own. And then the next one is, if they wanna, now this is a new thing, if they wanna also, let's go by them, and I know my glasses on this man, I need to go for this. Sorry. See, you put your glasses on and you're just like, oh, wow. The first 3 I was reading, I was going by memory. All right, so then the next one is. Excuse me, oh, at the top where they fill in whether it's a new registration, or we talked about that, you can change your name, the party affiliation, or the address change. And then number 4, male, female, or unspecified, that is, if they don't fill that in, we can still register them to vote, but I think they want it for like statistical purposes. Again, their month and date of birth, the driver's license or the Maryland permit or Maryland ID, that helps speed up the process and they become active quicker when we have that information. And then social security, the last 4. And then there's a box they can check 60 if they have neither. Any of those documents, they would check that box and then that's when we would contact them and help them provide passport or whatever else we can provide to prove, be able to validate their identity and everything. And then the Maryland, it needs to be a Maryland address. If they have a mailing address in the PO box, they would put it in the next line, so that's not mandatory. 8, 9 is where they pick their party, and that is mandatory. If someone doesn't check that, the regulations tell us that they're unaffiliated, so that's how we register them. If they don't check anything in number 9. And then always encourage them to give us their phone number. Because believe it or not, some people have really messy handwriting. Sometimes we have trouble deciphering numbers or we want to get it right on the spelling of the name. So we'll call the person and verify information like their spelling of their name and things like that. So encourage a phone number and encourage an email too, especially if they're gonna request a mail-in ballot, because they'll get email notifications saying, hey, you mailed your mail-in ballot, or hey, we got it back, or hey, we just counted it yesterday as part of the tally. And then we always please make sure that they sign. If they don't sign this form, we can't do anything with it. We have to have a signature and then the date. If you notice at the bottom, there's a place where somebody can change their address. So they would just fill out the top where it says the name and address and their month and date of birth. And then they fill out the bottom if they're just changing their address. They don't have to fill out all the rest of the stuff. So like, I don't need your driver's license again or the last 4 of your social. I just need your name, first name, your full name, your birth date, and your last known address, and then your new address, and then we can make that update. So this form can be used for that too. So when you're doing voter registration, try to remember to tell people that. There's a lot of times you'll say, hey, are you registered to vote? And they'll be, oh yeah, I'm registered. Are you sure your voter record is up to date? You want to make sure that the right address is there, because especially in an election like the midterm, because we're voting for all our local candidates. So this one really matters, whether you're voting the right ballot style. If you have your old address, like I used to live by White Marsh, Nottingham, I live in Owens Mills now, completely different delegates, completely different, everybody. So if I didn't change my address, I wouldn't vote for the people that are, that are right there with my neighborhood. So that's important too, that you can tell people that they can update their address. So basically, that is what you do when you're a voter registration distributor. Did I go too fast? Everybody's good? So we're ready to take the oath? All right, so what we're gonna do is I'll read it, you guys say it back to me and you'll raise your hand. And then, in your packet, there's a page that you sign. Once we do that, you sign it and then, or you can all just read it together quietly. Do you wanna do it that way?
That's fine.
And then sign it, and when you sign it, then we can give you your certification card.
Well, I'm gonna suggest that they actually say it.
I love that part. Here's
And,
one.
and the only reason I'm suggesting they actually say it is because your staff made us say it last.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to raise your right hand and all that.
Did everybody that want to become, that just received the training, please stand, raise your right hand.
It's this part. You wanna read it to them?
Oh, no.
No, okay. It's this paragraph right here.
Okay. Let's see how many people this is. Can you get the Jim? Okay.
Can we take a picture?
Oh, yes. Let's get a picture too.
Well, it happened unless you're gonna, let's take a picture.
So when I say I, y'all ready? Say your name following. I, your name. Solemnly swear or affirm. Under penalty of perjury. That I have been given instruction. Regarding participation. In distribution of voter registration.
In distribution of voter
Activity.
activity.
And that I will.
That I will.
Engage. In such activity. In accordance with.
In accordance with.
That instruction.
That instruction.
As specified below.
As specified below.
And in accordance with. Applicable law and regulations.
Applicable
Do I have to read the three underneath? Yeah. Oh, okay, you are sworn in. BDRs. BRDs.
You sign it, we'll come around and give you your card. And you should always carry your card and have also your Maryland ID. Well, because you don't have to be a Maryland resident to do this. I don't understand that rule.
My son is a college student, so if you have somebody who's out of state, but is it?
Oh, that's a
They
good
could
point.
register people to vote.
So they're gonna collect your papers. Does anybody need a pen to sign there? Just make sure I get it back.
Here, but is maybe in school at University of Virginia. And
And
she
they-
could theoretically register Virginia's.
Yeah.
You try to put that.
Yeah, I see, that makes sense. So, whenever you're gonna be doing voter registration, being a distributor, make sure you have your card in your wallet and your, and an ID, okay, with a picture.
What happens if someone like gets some of those cards and they have them training camp? They like committing a crime or?
Oh, no.
I
I mean, I don't know how they get to that. I know that it's kind of like, election officials, because we take an oath and, not all of us get to have the badge and stuff that we have, and anybody could actually get kind of the same thing. I think.
It's just discouraging.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can we do something real quick right here? For those of you who are signing, if you could sign that without speaking, and then the people that want to ask questions can ask questions to Ms. Lavoy while they're waiting to collect your papers. I think I saw Reese, Sharonda, and Linda. Oh, you just trying to give your.
If you see like some employee registered and stuff, and they like they're working on the insurance program. Is that a law?
So, I mean, what, a lot of people that work for me volunteer, so I mean, I don't, I know I'm not the campaign.
But I just have a question. Wait.
I'm still talking. Hold on one second.
And my other question was for a felon.
Yeah, that is.
When they're released or when they should be.
I believe her last name for them.
It used to be. They can be on parole for days, only for their sentence. They're not incarcerated or service defendants, you can register it. Or free times.
Back to you.
Well, that's if you're assisting. That's, oh no, that's the be. Right, it's because I'm fine up there.
So you sound about.
Right, we sign right here, you're just signing some. They're going around.
But your candidate,
What?
that's what your candidate.
My candidate.
Oh, yes.
Josie.
What else is that? You can have this money. Oh.
It's easier than passing notes.
Here you go. Yeah, that's it. And don't forget, if you help somebody fill out their application, that when you have these forms in your, application that you have to fill out, it's kind of like helping somebody with their ballot. Like.
How old you? Okay, so the next thing we have is. Okay, I'm a defer the
And
budget.
then, wait,
And we're gonna do this in.
I'm leaving a bunch of flyers for you guys, so I have an election note flyer, mail and ballot flyer. QR codes. And then. That's for an election date on the voting site and our QR code amendment plan. Or they can do this. And then here, this is the election judge, they want to start.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
Yes.
can I have your attention for 1 second? There was a lot of discussion about being paid, getting paid, and compensation. When our Board of Election representatives were here last month, the one role that can't get compensation for is the role of a judge. And they need judges desperately. I'm going to let Louis speak to that for like a couple minutes, because I think it's really, really important if someone's interested in being a judge, that they know what the eligibility is and what the compensation is.
So you have to be registered to vote in Maryland, which means you can be 16 and work as a election judge or poll worker. I try really hard if they are 16, 17 to place them in their home precinct, or if their mom or aunt or grandma or grandfather, whoever's working, place them with somebody that they know. If they're younger, it's a long day. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very long day. You have to be there at 5:30 in the morning. And in 24, we had lines at some polling places that didn't close until pretty late, but for the majority of the precincts, it's between a 12 or 15-hour day. So you start at like 5:30, and you're done, but you make $250 if you've done it previously. You make an additional $100. If you're a chief judge, you make $350 and an additional $100. And if you work as a provisional SCR judge, which you have to know a little bit more computer skills and stuff to be the same day registration judge, but you make a little bit more money, you make $350. It is some walking on your feet, but we rotate everybody rotates, so you might have to sit down all day, you might have to stand up all day, of course, unless you want to. I know when I'm working a polling place, I love the judge to say, here, people on that part. So I don't mind standing up all day, but they do rotate. And there's different positions. You might not be computer literate, not want to do check-in, but you might enjoy escorting the voters to the voting booth, or helping them when they scan their ballot, or directing voters outside, things like that. So there's different positions. It's a good way to serve your community, and it would really help. On the west side of the county, we historically meet our goal for Democratic judges. We try to have parity and equal Dems and reps. That obviously that's not always possible. And I find in northern Baltimore County, I really need Democratic judges in northern Baltimore County. And a lot of times it's a far drive for the people that do volunteer, but that's where I usually don't meet my parity as much on the northern side of the county with the Democratic judges, so come on. Unless you're a candidate, you can.
That's what I was about to say.
If you're a candidate or a current legislator, you can.
If you're on the central committee.
So are you a elected central committee?
Yeah, so they can't do it.
But that's-
Thank you.
If you're on the central committee, and you're elected candidates, for that, you're on the ballot, but if you're appointed and you're not running, yeah. Everybody,
If you're appointed and not running, can you?
That's still an active member on the central committee.
Because never asked you a question, so I wanna look it up.
Yeah, that's what he is.
I know that if you're a candidate,
Right. If you're eligible,
yeah,
so if we send it.
You don't have anything?
Council meeting also.
I will look that up, I'm gonna make myself a note, and I will.
Take care of
Dr. Wood, when I give her all the attachments, I will email her and tell her that answer, I'm thinking no. Are you thinking no or yes?
We don't serve jury.
Well, I want to say that people are volunteers. And so if you're elected on the ballot, I think you have a conflict. If you're an appointed person who's not running, that's separate. Because anybody can volunteer. And I'm just going to say,
So-
appointed and volunteering really doesn't change anything because Bonnie, if you weren't even appointed, you still be working.
judge.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know that.
So, but you're appointed as a member of the.
Non-voting member. So it's like
Well,
a
non-voting.
yeah, it's a non-voting member.
Well, no, not necessarily, because some people are appointed to.
Okay, guys. Listen up, everybody, because you're saying a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Okay, and what everybody needs is clarity about what the scenario is. So this is what I'm going to say about it all. Miss Lavoy is going to bring us back a clear definition, non-voting, appointed, sitting on the central committee, active, any of the elected, any of those components will be clarified. It will be sent back to us. Do not press for a response this evening. We're not going to get it. Okay? So I do want people to understand, okay, that she'll give us that answer and we then in turn will make sure all of you get the response that you're looking for. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Well, I'm going to say, so whatever your circumstance was may be very different than what is being asked in this moment. So I would reserve my comment about that piece because I don't know exactly. So I don't know how that might clash with what is actually being asked for. Yes, Ms. Dorsey Walker.
The state of Maryland Democratic Party recognizes you as an official.
That's correct.
If you are an associate, they don't recognize you as an official member, so therefore you can.
So associates or volunteers are not voting members on the central committee and therefore have a different standing than those members that, like the one I'm getting ready to swear in maybe shortly, okay? Because the whole point is that whether you were on a ballot and got elected and voted in, or whether the central committee elected you and voted you in, even though it was an appointment, you're a voting member. But we're going to clarify that and get it back to you, okay?
Yep, I'll email you the answer when I want to look it up.
And I'll give you all the different pieces, Rui, so you will have a clear idea of exactly all the pieces that they were referencing,
Okay.
okay?
But remember, if you decided to be an election judge, then it makes it difficult if you're trying to campaign for somebody on the ballot, because I'm gonna need you in the precinct.
That's happened.
I know, and then they quit at the last minute saying, oh, I gotta go help do this, and I'm like, no, then I gotta do your spot, so think, yes, we want judges, but I wanna make sure that's what people wanna do. Because you can't do both on that day.
And-
Clarification, I just wanted, if we're only elected every 4 years, so next year, or the 2 years from now, whenever the next, after the 26th election, it's like 2028. We are not on the ballot.
That's what I'm gonna look up.
And, you know, you could be a judge, it seems to me, because there's no conflict of interest.
I'm gonna look that up, make sure.
He's gonna bring us the answer. So in the meantime, let's pause this particular question. Ladies and gentlemen, Reese. I need your attention because we gotta move. Okay, so then I wanna see last and final questions for Ms. Lavoy. And if you have a last and final question, let's look on Zoom. Hold your hand up. Let's look on Zoom, see if, is anybody wanting anything on Zoom? Everybody good on Zoom? Great. Fergal, and then we're gonna move to our next item on the agenda.
Another very technical question, of course, with the school boards, right, there is only a primary election if there's 3 or more candidates. Is that written down in a policy, something that?
Well, I mean,
Or that just understood?
I don't, I honestly don't know, but it just makes sense, because it's not like you need a Dem and a Rep to run against each other in the general, you just need 2 people, and if that's all they could be on the primary ballot, but either way, they're going to the general.
Oh, I agree with you,
So,
it makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
I don't know, I think it's always just been understood.
It's just that a candidate asked me, and I went and looked up the legislation, and legislation,
Silent on it,
it's kind of silent.
yeah.
And kind of leans the other way, so
Yeah.
I was curious where it came from, I would love to be able to point them to a document. But
Yeah.
if it's not there.
It's, they just go straight to the general.
How many people?
I can look that one up too, but that might take.
That's what the.
Like
16, but let me.
Is that, yes, ma'am.
I had an issue with 24. I've been doing this a long time, working with polls going in, and make sure the numbers are both the same size. I walk into the room. And the 24, I have judges.
So, right, and I apologize, if that happens again, let me know on election day, honestly, yeah, let me know. Because they might not know, and it's not in law or regulation that we have to do that. But we started doing it in early voting, and I thought, why not move it on election day too, where it's just there, they want the information anyway. It used to be, if the chief judges aren't busy, they could stop and get the numbers, but why do that when every hour you can run the reports, they could not, so with that, we've kind of made it a routine, and there, in 24 was the first year that I added it to training and everything, so I'm hoping they're gonna get better this year, but if there is an issue, please let me know. I even send like a cheat sheet, how to print that report in their judge binder prior to notice, and don't forget to do this.
Let's have a round of applause for.
This is Lisa and Jen. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, I was saying thank you for having us, thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. This was very informative. It was, some of it was new information. I love the fact that everybody is embracing the information and we have, what'd you say we had for tonight? No, for tonight. How many people did we? Okay, and we have
16.
we have a total of 33 members of the Central Committee and Community that got registered to be voter demonstrators. Voter registration distributors. That is awesome. So thank you all for being here and participating in this process. We're going to quickly move to the next item on our agenda. Okay, so I'm going to ask the person that's already up here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask, we're gonna move over here by the sign. Susie, come over here.
So we're gonna.
I'll slide to just take a picture together. And I'm gonna ask you to start to present Mr. Garber to the central committee for your district, 42B. All right.
And then we'll swear.
And then we will have him come up and say a few words when you finish introducing him.
You're going over there for a picture. I'm absolutely delighted and very proud to introduce Jason Garber. He was on the central committee in previous years. Weren't you chair?
Yes.
I've heard of rumors. About 18 months. He's a friend. Democratic colleague, I would say. We've known each other for a long time. And I really am very excited that we're the team working together as the 42B. We're the only ones working, so we have nobody, no opposition. And we're going to, I'm gonna let him come up, talk a little bit about himself, and then we'll get sworn in, right?
Once we vote.
Once we vote, excuse me. You can't forget.
You don't want to forego the vote.
Right. So, again, that's more welcome.
All right, Jason Garber, I know most of you here. So I have been here before, obviously, I was representative of Townsend 42A. Back when 42A was Townsend, I was also here District 8, grade 8. Many of whom, my former teammates are here online. And then I took a 2-year hiatus, not necessarily completely voluntary on my part, but nevertheless, it happened. And this is certainly going to be a lot better than just sitting on my couch and watching TV. So it's good to be here, and I'm looking forward to many Democratic Party victories. Yay! The Central Committee's purpose is to be inclusive and try to bring as many people within the tent as we possibly can. That we need to encourage our younger Democrats and make sure that they're in a position to move this party forward. It is their future. We're here for them to help them out and to make sure this is going in the right direction. So if anybody has any questions for me, otherwise.
Ms. Garber has been successfully presented to you, and he has given his words of wisdom on being a part of the Central Committee. So all those who are in favor of accepting him as a member, please say aye. Aye.
Bye.
Any objections?
I don't have an objection. I'm not sorry, I forgot. I forgot how.
Any abstentions?
It's always one.
Okay. With that being said, I thank you both. I do want Jason to stay up. Susan?
Sit down.
We're gonna do the swearing in
Yes.
at this point.
Yes, I remember, you said,
This is part of the initiative.
yes. Of course, I don't have it memorized anymore.
Please raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Jason Garber,
Do swear or affirm
do swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
and I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof.
and that I will,
And I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office
execute the office
of member of the Democratic State Central Committee of Maryland,
of member of the Democratic State Central Committee of Maryland,
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and bylaws of this state.
and bylaws of this state.
Congratulations.
Dawn, I mean, I think I gave that to you 2 years ago. But you enjoyed it, 3 years ago.
No, everything comes full cycle.
Yes.
Right? At this time, I'm going to ask Reese Peak to step forward. Reese. Reese has already been accepted. He's already been voted in. He only has to do the swearing in component.
Give us title.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. No, I really won't. I
James Reese Speak the third.
do swear or affirm
Do swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof.
and that I will,
And that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office
execute the office
of Deputy Treasurer
of Deputy Treasurer
of the Democratic State Central Committee
of the Democratic State Central Committee
of Baltimore County
Baltimore County
of
of
Maryland,
Maryland,
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and bylaws of this state.
and bylaws of the state.
Congratulations. We actually have a third person that needs to be sworn in. She's on Zoom. Can you present yourself, Jennifer?
Sure can. Hey, everyone.
Yeah. We would love for you to be here in person. It's important that we try and do these things in a really formal way. But since you are removed from us in this moment, we're gonna go ahead and move forward with this process.
I'm good.
All set?
All set.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
Jennifer Dwyer,
do swear or affirm
do swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will,
to
to the best of my skill and judgment,
the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of Second Vice Chair
of Second Vice Chair
of the Democratic State Central Committee of Baltimore County
of the Democratic State Central Committee of Baltimore County
of Maryland, according to the Constitution and bylaws of this state.
according to the Constitution and bylaws of this state.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Those are all of our members that we have to swear in this evening. We have now a full executive board. We have a new member. And one of the things that we were going to do this evening, but there has to be a few more conversations. We do need a chairperson for our bylaws subcommittee. So we have been talking to several individuals, and I will present that person at our next meeting. I want to make sure that people understand and know what they're getting into And so one of the things that I will ask that I have the opportunity to defer this appointment to you all as a nominee to the Central Committee and have a few more discussions to ensure that we have the person that wants to be able to embrace this role and we can move forward. Because as you well know, one of the roles of the chairperson for the bylaws subcommittee will be an individual who's going to move us into ensuring that there is going to be alignment between Baltimore County's bylaws and the state bylaws that have just been voted in and renewed. So that is a little bit of a tall order. So I want to make sure that we have good conversation about what the responsibilities are associated with that role. I also want to talk to you a little bit about the candidates forum in which your comment comes into play. We talked about a candidates forum in our last meeting. And so what we are trying to do is, as a central committee, have a candidates forum for county exec. There has been a candidates forum in West Baltimore County at UMBC. There will be one on the 23rd in Essex area on the east side. And we're hoping to have one right. Did I say, what did I say?
You said the 23rd.
You just said 23rd.
Okay, April the 23rd. And April the 18th, we would like to have one right here in North Central Baltimore County in order to pull individuals from this area too. So we've started to work. We've sent out invitations for the county executive candidates to have a forum right here. We will have the forum in the sanctuary section like we had the town hall. For those of you who remember the town hall. And then we're going to come back here and have a coffee and treat or coffee and sweets with any candidate that wants to come and be a part of that section of the forum. So the forum will be a panel discussion with the county executives. But if you're a central committee candidate, you're running for central committee and you want to hand out your little flyers or your little campaign activities to individuals in the room, you can do that when we have our coffee and sweet and treat time, our social hour. If you are running for county council and you want to hand out your campaign materials or talk to people about what you stand for, what you represent on a one-on-one, that is an opportune time to do that. If you're running for delegate, if you're running for any other role within, and matter of fact, can I see the hands of any and all of you who have decided to run? Let me do it by roles so I can see where everybody falls. So how many people are running for a senator? I'm not running for senator. I want you to raise your hand. Okay, so no one. So how many people are running for delegate?
Justin, I just want to say Justin, someone on the central committee is running for delegate.
I saw Jody's hand go up, Linson, Jen, Bishop, you had your hand up for delegate?
Yes, he's running for delegate.
Okay, so he's running for delegate. And that's all of those that are on Zoom. And then we have Satish. And who else in here is running for delegate? Who else is running for delegate? That's it?
Jody.
I called her.
Okay, she's saying.
I called her and Linson Jen, and I called Bishop Barry, and that's all for delegate, right?
Justin.
Nobody else. Did I do it?
We already got it.
Justin's running for Senate.
All right. So anybody running for county council, raise your hand. So we have Linda Dorsey, we have Sharonda Huffman, we have Tyrod Haynes, Danita Tolson. Well, we got quite the and Carson Cabinets, Ed Freiser. We have a large group. I mean, that will be the sweet and treat time to come. because we're gonna try to have a large number of community members here. Have your cards out, have them ready, let them know what district you're in and be able to participate. And then how many people are, now my hand really is up, is running for Central Committee? Excellent, excellent, excellent. There are hands also on the, on Zoom. I see Alyssa, I see Linda and Jen. I see, I see everybody in this room, almost everyone in this room running for Central Committee. Okay, so how many people are just anyone that's running for Central Committee? So just about the whole room, right?
Can we find out, because we know each other on Central Committee, can we find out who some of the people who are running that aren't on the Central Committee are?
Well, you know what?
People here today.
There are a lot of people here today, and let me just do one or two more things, and then we're gonna get back to them, because before I quickly run out of time, I want the party building subcommittee to announce their week of action. That is for all of us, and that is really critically important. Dr. Campbell, could you please proceed forward and announce the week of action activities and what is planned and what needs to happen?
I am a title. Hey, everybody, this is our what?
Week of action.
Yeah, this is our week of action. So kind of want to go over some things with you tonight. Again, we're kicking off the Baltimore County Democrats Week of Action, which is an important opportunity for us to organize, energize our base, and to make sure that Democrats across the county stay engaged and motivated. So the canvassing and phone banking team, which consists of Reese, Virgo, Danny, Jen, and myself, we were able to cut turf and do some put together some phone banking material for every single district, for every district. I wanted to have a packet ready for like district leads, and I'll talk about that a little bit more, but once I saw my packet, which was 94 pages long, I was like, no, I agree with you, Reed. That, you know, once you find out who has what district, then you'll be able to go to them and they'll be able to take you through the process of getting the information that you need so that you can canvass and phone bank. We decided as a committee to go with the primary voter focus. The outreach is focused specifically on primary voters, and these voters are already engaged in the democratic process and are often the most reliable participants in the election. So we wanted to make sure that we strengthen that base and make sure that, again, if they voted the past elections as a Democrat, and if they skipped an election, we want to give them, we want to make sure that for sure that they vote now up and down the ticket for Democrats. The district collaboration, we're looking for district leads, and I will go over real quick what that looks like. But that person, it will be one person from each district. They will be the ones that collect the material, come back to the district, the central committee members in that district, get together and plan how the canvas and phone banking and the sign waving would look. Come back and give us dates so that we all can participate in some of the activities. We do have scripts for phone banking and outreach. And I am going to say that we have them written, but if you have any questions with that in regards to the scripts, I know Jen is on the line, Reese is here. Further, we can help you with that. The district planning, once the materials are given, we ask that the district lead communicate with you. Again, we talk about that district committees and the volunteers about specific outreach plans. For the sign making and sign waving in the district, in addition to the direct voter outreach, we also want to increase the public visibility for the democratic engagement across the county. So we will be doing sign making and sign waving, again, looking for the district leads to work with your particular district to make that happen. We do have one that's coming up in March. I know that Katrina, if you want to talk a little bit about that, has agreed to do one in Catonsville, a weekend of ACT. So Katrina, can you say real quick about that?
So the weekend of action is on this Sunday, the 22nd.
You're the day.
And it is our leadership service day. So after that, we're gonna have the coffee fellowship. And we've also partnered with Seeds and Stuff. So Shazzy and I have been really active in creating food sources in our district 44 BSC to have like a food insecurity. So what we've done is that we partnered with IMCA. So this Sunday, right after the coffee fellowship, we will be putting up the fencing for the deer fencing for the community garden. We have spots for people to learn how to grow their own food. It's free. University of Maryland, we have 15 spots open. It'll be a 6-week program. And after you get your seeds ready for harvest, you can either plant them on our site at Emirates United Methodist Church, or you'll be able to take it home. But the whole purpose of this weekend is to just get the community engaged in learning how to grow food, along with recognizing and Women's History Month, the dynamic for them that's our CEOs and our running for office. Everybody's welcome. It's kind of female event, but that's the call to action. And then we're going to do a sign waving in the district on Route 40 and Rolling Road. I have picked out the date of April 18th, Dr. Campbell, from 11 to 1. So I'll be putting some more information out on in regards to that as well.
Have you definitively locked in that date or the time?
I wanted to tonight, I had it until you said that the thing for the 18th. So that was the only day when I looked at the almanac, it was gonna be 68 degrees and sunny. So I can move it to a later part.
I hope so, because I'm hoping to get a really huge crowd here for the forum. And we've gotten one positive response already. I'm hoping to get the rest of them. And I really, really, really want people who are otherwise running for office. I'm going to actually call and contact some of them, like Boatwright and some other individuals who are running for office, to make sure they come that day so they can be a part of our coffee and elbow rubbing opportunity, coffee and treats. Now, for those of you who are voting members, I just want you to know, is there any objection to us spending $250 to $300 to get the coffee and treat in order for us to have this? It may be a little bit more than that. I haven't priced it yet, but it won't definitely be over 500. Will not.
I move that we spend up to $500 for coffee and Danish for
the event, okay.
Yeah.
Is there a second? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Okay. Now, I do want to tell you about one other thing that is, oh, she's not finished. Never mind. Never mind. I won't tell you. I will not tell you the piece until she's finished, because I know that Katrina, I interrupted her because we had the same date and almost the same time. So
Katrina, you go back to her district members and come up with another day.
I had a specific question about what you had asked. What are the signs, what are the nature of the signs that are going to be used for the sign wave? And can I make just one request? Because I heard from at least 2 of our current council members at different sign waves. Can we please discourage people flying upside down American flags? Please. It sends the wrong message for us as Democrats. If it were any other event.
upside down flags,
Official event, I don't think that.
US flag upside down. Discourage US flags being upside down.
Okay, thank you for that information. And once we start making signs, I'll make sure, I mean, this is the committee, so
Where have you seen it? I've never seen it.
No, it's.
Yeah. You want me to show a picture? A picture of it. Why?
The stress, the country's in
Stress.
stress, that's a crisis right now.
That's, that's.
And we are.
Naval sign there. Official military naval sign for Ethiopian distress. And so there are people who were in the military that said they disliked the fact that someone had incorporated it in a very different way. And these were people who had served in the military and they had a problem with it. And I personally had a problem with it, but I know there are lots of people that don't have problems with lots of things, but we have to be sensitive to us as Democrats.
Can you go ahead and continue to finish your report real quick?
So the
And
district.
there's somebody that wants to say something, but I'll grab them after you finish.
Okay, so let me just say a little bit about the district lead. So some of the things that you'll be responsible for is, again, coordinate your district team, scheduling phone banking, scheduling canvassing, sign making and sign waving, and communicating your plan with the rest of the committee. So that one person will be prayerfully working with the rest of the folks who are in your, like the central committee members who are in your district, and the goal is to have 100% participation. We are moving forward with the Rock the Vote campaign. We have some flyers on the table, Spanish and English. We have been invited back to Overley High School for their youth day. That's April the 24th, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. They have a lot of great things that they want us to participate in. As far as Rock the Vote, and then Owens Mills, we have been invited there. Our goal is 5 schools. We have 2 so far. April 18th for Owens Mills, 8 a.m. to 12. And Prudence, can you raise your hand? Prudence Henderson will be leading that initiative with Rock the Vote with our precinct captains and any other volunteer. We do have a sign-in sheet. And if you're interested, just ask me your name, telephone number, what you're interested in doing. I also want to recognize Nelson and give him a minute to say if there's anything happening in a faith-based or other activities that you're forwarding to the committee that you want to say.
Yes, so thank you. So I do have a couple of events. I'm still trying to plan these gatherings from the east side of town. I've pretty much covered a lot of the big community along the river on the west side of Baltimore County, but I will be visiting a couple of churches on the east side, Stevens Church 6 on the 29th. I'm also going to be looking to maybe in May or June. I'm looking at areas of Parkville and Towson to visit some big communities, but I'll keep everything posted via email about that. And if you want to participate, definitely see me out.
Are you notifying every candidate or only certain candidates about each of these things?
So typically when I send out invites, they're usually via email, via phone call, or via text message.
And that's why I'm asking that question.
Yes.
Are you notifying every candidate?
Yes, I've been, every single candidate that I've been working with for the past several months, with the faith community events have attended my event. So county executive assembly committee. I mean, like if I don't, because if I reach out to the faith communities and if they are okay with us coming, then I'll invite everyone. But usually it's an email thread, and if I have your phone number, I'll text you or call you. But like I said, I know that we have new candidates that filed recently. I've been doing this since October, so we've had new candidates, since then, and I've been organizing a lot of this, since last fall.
Yeah. And you're adding new candidates on?
So I have not added all of them yet, but I can still add more because I still have events planned throughout the spring for faith community. So
Have the new candidates reach out to him?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I think that Nelson's doing a good job. And if you don't, I mean, it's not Nelson's list. I mean, he's come on a party building team and done a phenomenal job. And I think that, just going to the events and seeing the outcome. But if you know somebody who's running and not on field, let Nelson know.
And all of our
Nelson.
I would also say that all of our elected officials that participated And a lot of these outreach events, well, it's not just candidates. Candidates from every race of the job, right? All districts.
We got the greatest already.
Yes, I mean, I'm by county. The legislators.
We don't have so often.
So I would like to say that as a volunteer to this central committee, you have done an outstanding job. We met and we asked you to step up and step into this space with a faith-based piece. And you have done things that I was not looking forward to you to do. You have gone above and beyond, and you've been very consistent across the board as much as possible. We want you to keep doing the work. We want you to expand some of your outreach, but we also want you to know that you have done an exceptional job of stepping in and working.
Closing, I just want to ask Virgil, can you tell the districts that you have worked on as it relates to turf cutting and
I cut 43B and 6, and I want to talk to you to make sure that you can see them because I haven't shared turfs in both of them.
okay, and
Reese,
I've cut up District 11B and 44A and B and 11A as well.
right,
And we have gained on.
okay, and I think Jen, what districts have you? Jen,
Actually still don't have van access. There's some kind of technical issue, but I still don't have access to be able to cut the turf.
okay, and Danny cut what turf, 7?
Jen, excuse me.
Yes.
Jen, can you call me at a later point in time? I personally put you in van. So we need to find out what the glitch is because this is the second time. And we've given you access before and something happened. I don't know what the issue is, maybe but we just need to discuss it to see if there's something that's prohibiting you from having access to our van.
Okay, and Danny?
Give you a call.
Thank you.
I believe he's done 7, 42A, 42B. Maybe another, I'm not sure.
Okay, so
I want to know, hold on for 1 second. The east side is a tough side, it's a red side, and it's got issues. And I know you're running in that area, correct? Who else is running on the east side besides Sharonda?
Lisa and Jen is.
Lisa and Jen, you running on the east side?
Yes, that's correct. And Satish also filed, so we're in the same district, Satish and I.
Yeah, he's here. He's giving us a thumbs up.
Okay.
So what's your districts?
Satish and I are 7A.
7A? Who's cutting turf for 7A?
Danny
Golombek, he's not here right now. He really does a great job of what he needs to do. And I think you guys need to have a conversation. I don't know how we're gonna do it.
Something about that, I get my own stuff, so I don't want you shouldn't incorporate people who are running for office with your stuff. I have my own van, that's something separate, but I think the central committee's job is to tell people to vote. There should not be people running.
So let me say this, because it is going on record, so I'm not afraid to say what I need to say. But what I am going to say is, I hear you, and all of you should have received the information that was sent out with the form and the link and the form, so that you can have your access to van. However, as central committee members, there's turf that's cut in your area. And as you go out to do central committee work, there's no law that says that you can't also hand out your information in the process of doing both. But you have to be doing central committee work. And that's why I'm asking that question. I'm asking it in the context of them being central committee, having their turf cut, and they're working for us. But if they want to also kind of sort of deliver more than one message at the time, they can do so. Go
I just
ahead.
want to say one thing. On March 28th, we're having the No Kings rallies.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just asking if that's something that you were interested in doing, like our, or the No Kings rally, and Ann's working on getting somebody.
He's over there.
Was Ann left? Okay, Ann's working on some things for me. But March 28th is 10:30 to 12. And so if somebody wants to come and then do walking or whatever afterward, that'd be great. Also, you know, there's other things, and Dundalk is at 12. So that could be an opportunity to do the east side if somebody, because this is where the areas that needs the most help. And last time even Ann got the Wall Street Journal to come and do a story on it too. So that's just a good opportunity. And we also doing voter registration. That's why we keep it here to do registration.
Could you provide us with a flyer, poster, informational?
Kings, it's on everybody. I'm just saying, everybody got the link to know Kings.
And wait, I do understand that. I'm just trying to make sure we re-emphasize the importance of that particular area because it is so red. Yes, Fergal, and then Eileen.
Just to jump on along with Sharonda, there are no fewer than 9 No Kings Day events happening around the county. They're all being individually organized. As the 28th of March, they're all being individually organized by different groups. They all have different sign-up times. A press release is going to be going out in the next week. Make sure you get a copy.
Okay.
NoKings.org has a map for anywhere across the country, anywhere across the world for this event. So I'm not going to list them all off. Just go look them up.
Okay. Eileen has something too.
The 10:30 to 12 is where?
That's Essex. That is at Eastern Boulevard and 702. It's like right at it's right at Eastern Boulevard and Summers Run Road. So that's where they've been having rallies anyway, but they just stopped because it got cold.
I'm just trying to make sure we are acutely aware of everything, but we also need to be acutely aware of where our biggest impactfulness can be. And we should be effective in those areas as well.
It encouraged not to have candidates speaking.
In what?
At big rallies all over the town. Okay, it's a correct me if I'm wrong.
It's a nonpartisan,
Nonpartisan.
but it's
What is hot man on has called me and he wants to come to ours, but he's not running. So I guess that's, you know, so if somebody's not running.
It's not anybody can come, right? But it's not going to be a political event. But I'm saying if you're in the area, you can come and do it anyway. People are going to be there, and it's nonpartisan. We have independents, Republicans, whoever don't like what's going on in the government.
That's what the focus is, and that was going to be my next question. Because it's nonpartisan, the focus is going to be on what we don't like that the government, the administration is doing right now, and there's a lot that people are concerned about and don't like. Okay, I'm going to do this one thing, guys, and then I'm going to have to start wrapping it up. Austin, I know that. I think that was up from before. Lisa and Jen, how long is your hand up related to anything we're talking about?
This is Lisa and Jen. Yeah, it was just a brief response to, I'm not sure which person it was that had made the comment, but the person who had expressed concerns with signs that display the United States flag upside down. And I just wanted to remind folks, as a lawyer who has taught constitutional law, we should not be in the business of telling people what kind of speech or expression they use, even if we don't like it and we're uncomfortable with it. That's different than if someone is expressing hate speech while representing the party. The party absolutely can and should distance from that. We should not support people actually engaging in hate speech, but speech that is merely uncomfortable for anyone. We've all experienced that. Other people on this committee, other Democrats have often said things that I find deeply uncomfortable, I think are wrong, I disagree with, I've publicly said so, but we shouldn't be telling them they can't say it. So I would say I, appreciate hearing and the person who shared their concerns being able to share those concerns and stating why they find it uncomfortable. But we should not be telling people what they can display for their signs, what kind of slogans or imagery they use. And I think we can and should also assume that when people are using the imagery they're choosing to use, that they're doing so thoughtfully, that they have a reason for choosing to use that imagery, and that they've chosen to use that imagery deliberately, even if not all of us would agree with the use of it. That was the only comment that I wanted to make. To the question about the No Kings actions, I have some of those flyers, separate comment, if folks wanted to ask me about it. And I'm also leading an event in Baltimore City on March 27th. It's not a political event affiliated with my campaign. It's a disability rights event. So if anybody is interested in being part of that, please reach out to me. That's Friday, March 27th in Baltimore City. There will be very delicious food and a lot of education about disability rights.
Thank you, Lansenja. Okay, with that being said, I think we have come to the closure of our agenda. But before we leave, I would like to take 2 or 3 minutes for the people in this room that are not a part of the Central Committee who are running for office to stand up, introduce themselves, and let us know what you're actually running for so we can be familiar with you. So just one at a time, just take this young man told me earlier on, look, y'all, we should congratulate him. He's outstanding to be here because I don't know, I probably crowned him if he belonged to me, but he just had a baby 48 hours ago and he's so Austin, you want to introduce yourself and let us know what you're about?
Oh, yes.
Madam Chair, can I ask the candidates to come to the podium, so they're not behind us?
Okay, candidates, could you line up right over there by the podium, please?
Line up.
Get used to it.
First, I gotta get off.
Charlotte, I also want to make sure you saw Jody's comment in the chat.
Wait, hello, people, come on.
And I just want to say thank you, kudos to y'all. Y'all should get very yourselves up around the applause for being here. I was actually here about 10 years ago, only got through a few meetings before a whole bunch of stuff happened, started a business, ended up living overseas for years. But my name is Austin Brown, running for Central Committee and 11B. Also actually the campaign manager for Ms. Dorothy Walker. So yeah, lots going on. And of course, I just had a baby 48 hours ago. I have to go back to the hospital, pick up some stuff with my wife before I get in trouble. But yeah, very exciting time. Lots going on. I just want to say thank you all for being here and thank you for your service to the community.
Thank you.
I know I'm gonna do a couple emails from people, so I'll make sure you get my contact info.
Get the steppers. All right, who's next? Come on, ladies.
Maureen, come on, we gotta go.
You can't run for, you cannot run for office and be shy. That is not a characteristic.
So I'm an associate member, right? So can I?
You can keep going.
Okay, good. Hi, my name is Katrina Leonard. I'm running for the Central Committee for District 44B. I have been a long time business owner since 1997 in that area. I also work with treatment versus incarceration. I do a lot of community outreach and advocacy with Emirates United Methodist Church. And I have been a part of this body for 2 years, just learning exactly what it is that the Central Committee does, which is basically support the Democratic Party and help people to register people to vote. So I'm excited about my candidacy and I look forward to just being in this role in the future. So if you have any questions, you know me, give me a call. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. My name is Maureen Wambui, and I'm running for District 8. I've been around the community for a minute. I've met some of you, I'm engaged with some of you, and why am I running for Central Committee? Because I want to see more engagement from the immigrant community. I want to see a lot of engagement outside. So that's one of the biggest, why I stepped up to this position.
And what is your other roles and appointments on the state level?
Yeah, so on the state level, I'm an African Affairs Commissioner under the Governor's Office, Community Office. So, so the role is to connect the community with the Governor's Office.
The merge right now, she's like.
Yes, and I'm in March 2026. I'm also a treasurer for a candidate running for county council at large, Montgomery County. And I'm a financial coach. My career.
Thank you.
I really don't need an introduction. You guys know me.
No, we need to know you again. Come on, the camera, you online. Voters.
Yeah,
Never miss an opportunity to say your name.
Okay. I'm Nelson Brown. I'm running for District 10 on the Central Committee. I've been attending these meetings for almost a year now. Since I started working with you guys, I've worked in different capacities as an organizer for different groups. I'm a community health worker for MedStar Health, and I serve on the Health Equity Subcommittee for the Baltimore region. I work with a lot of the community schools, the Title I schools in my district and neighboring districts, on a lot of health and health related activities, just so that families and a lot of our students are supported. I wanted to step into this role because I wanted to really take my leadership to the next level and really bridge the gap between our faith groups and our schools, which are the backbone of our districts. So that's why I've been really building a lot of relationships with a lot of faith groups. I want to build more coalitions with people on the east side of Baltimore County. So that's why I've really been working with some of the current members on really learning more about that side of town so that we can really bring the same kind of energy and resources on the west side of town and vice versa. I've been working with a lot of the elected officials recently with trying to figure out how they can be supported in addition to supporting my own legislative team. I want to support other legislative teams in the process. So if you guys have an activity that you want me to participate in, or if you have a question about what I do, or if you have an idea, I proposed a couple of ideas myself. And again, I've been engaging a lot of the faith groups with a lot of our elected officials and other candidates. And if you want to participate in that, or if you have any questions, concerns about that, you can let me know. I'm looking forward to working with you guys. My race looks pretty promising. So.
Well, can you give us your contact information for all those new candidates that don't know how to get in touch with you?
Oh, yes.
It's online.
Oh, yes. So I'm going to give my number and my email. So my email is brownnelsone@gmail.com. And my number is 443-431-4962. So if you call or text me, I'll respond. But if you send me an email, I'll respond too.
So what I'm going to ask you to do, Nelson, is send that contact information that you want people to be aware of to our secretary, and she can send it out to the Central Committee.
Okay.
But I think it would be more appropriate to do it that way.
Okay.
That way people may not miss some of the numbers and the contact info that you're sharing right now.
That makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Prudence Henderson. I'm running for seat on the committee. I've been around for about a year. There was an open appointment last year and I interviewed for it, and I wasn't very happy with the outcome. But you know, I didn't have.
She didn't get on the, she don't get it.
Oh, this
11B.
11B. I didn't know anything about the Central Council. I'm very involved in my community. Never heard of you guys. I guess I didn't have the problems. I'm very focused on veterans issues. I am a member at large for the Veterans Commission. And I just came to a couple of meetings and I don't see the unity. And I don't know how you guys can help the community if you guys can't work together as a unit. So that's why I'm running. And if you work together as a unit, you can better support your communities, and that's why I'm running.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Were we able to get everyone? With that being said, I want to thank you all for a great meeting this evening. And I will entertain a motion from everybody but Reese for adjournment.
This is Lisa and Jen, so moved.
Can I just say something
Dr.
about
Wood,
the
there were
fines?
people online as well.
Okay, hold on, just stop for one moment. What did you say? Somebody asked me something. I heard Dr. Wood. That's all I heard. Hello?
Yeah, Dr. Wood, there are some candidates online as well.
Oh, that's right. There were candidates online. You know, you guys were so quiet, I kind of forgot you. Ladies and gentlemen, can you give us 5 more minutes? Carson and who else?
I thought you were just going to do Central Committee candidates. Miss
No,
Alyssa
we were
Paradise is also here.
we were going to do non-Central Committee candidates.
That was before he got on, he didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, Carson, you want a minute or two to tell us something?
Sure.
All right, we're waiting for you.
Well, hey again, everybody. I'm Carson Kamenetz. I was a member of the committee about a year or two ago. And I'm running for Baltimore County Council in the new 4th District because I vehemently believe that our county is bleeding right now. I know you're leaving and I'll be quick, but for the first time in over a century, Baltimore County is losing population. And if we don't respond the right way, families and the folks staying here, us, we're going to be paying more and more for less in return. And the new 4th District is really the most diverse and, in my opinion, complex in the county. And it means we really need leadership that understands how all of these issues intersect, like affordability, like housing, like public safety and reckless driving and growth. And to do that, my message is simple. We have to stop the bleeding and we have to grow responsibly. And we have to make sure every community in this district has a council member who shows up and listens and delivers. So I don't want to keep you. I'm running to bring really serious, but also energetic leadership to this moment to help build a Baltimore County that people can not just afford to stay in because people are leaving, but stay in and believe in. So
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Carson. And then Alyssa, real quick, I'm gonna give you a minute too.
Thanks, everybody. Good evening. I'm Alyssa Paradise. I'm running for Central Committee for District 11B. Let me lower my hand. I don't need that up anymore. I am a lifelong public servant. I used to work for the California Department of Education, expanding their nutrition services program for school children to be able to receive free meals year-round in and out of school. I currently work for the Comptroller of Maryland. I'm a lifelong advocate for food security, especially for children. I've run a number of food drives for food banks. I'm also a passionate advocate for disability rights awareness. I've been doing a lot of work recently on expanding 508 compliance in the tech field and expanding compliance with the ADA. I really want to help expand the Democratic Party and expand our compassionate leadership because I think, like Prudence was saying, she and I gave her a hug at the last meeting. We're in agreement that, when we run on a platform of compassion and kindness, that we can do a lot more. And we want to expand that. I know Prudence wants to expand it here, and I do too for Baltimore County and the rest of the area. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Alyssa. And then I see just one more person, Ruben Amaya. You got 1 minute, Ruben.
I'm here as well. I'm running.
My goodness. We were trying to get non-Central Committee people, but I did not know you were running, Rashida. I don't,
Central Committee.
Yeah.
You only run for both?
So, well, a lot of us are running for Central
I'm just
Committee.
saying she doesn't know what you're talking about, so I'm just.
Thank you, Rashida. I'm gonna have Ruben give us a minute and then I need to let Ann talk for real quick because people are trying to leave.
I'm not talking long. I just.
Thank you, Dr. Wood.
Okay, you got 1 minute, Ruben.
Thank you, Chairwood. Good evening, everyone. I'll just be very brief. I've had the pleasure of getting to know everyone on the Central Committee over the past couple of years. And like Carson, I'm running for County Council on the West Side in District 2. For me, it's the same echo and sentiment of affordability, but revitalization of the West Side. When we look at Randallstown and Security Square Mall, there's a lot of issues that we can work on to making sure that we improve the lives of working families and making sure that families don't get priced out of the neighborhoods we call home. So really excited to be in this fight with, all of us as Democrats because we all believe in that message as well. And looking forward to fighting that good fight with all of you. Thank you.
What's your cash app?
Noel,
I have $20. Yeah.
are you appointing to someone who?
Yes, Noel has signs and also
I guess so.
Bonnie has signs. If you would like to take some signs to sell for the benefit of the group, then come see me. Because I'm trying to get them out throughout the county.
So I have a real quick question, Ann. Is there opportunity for people who just want to make a donation to the family?
Yes, there is a GoFundMe thing, and I forgot the,
Can you send it?
I can send it,
Please.
yes. I'll send the information and we'll put it out through Central Committee.
Okay, so can we, ladies and gentlemen, can we go ahead and proceed with the motion to adjourn?
This is Lisa and Jen. I made that motion to adjourn.
Okay, it's been seconded by Lakeisha.
You go to any of the sign.
All those in favor? All right, have a good evening and a safe trip home, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Lakeisha.